The illusion of duality and time. Yes, duality is really an illusion, and same goes for time. Seems odd? Well, here is how we see it. Let's start with duality. Duality is set equal to opposites, however there is no opposites, but only less or more of. Let's take the example of good and bad. At first you would consider this to be a duality or an opposite. Now, try to look at it more like a scale, and in this example, we put good at the top, and bad at the bottom. In the middle we could put something like, okay. If we start at the top on good, and slide down towards okay, it now feels more like there is just less of the good. If we continue sliding down and past okay, approaching the bad, there is just less and less of the good. Now, once we reach the bad, in actual fact it's just less good. We call it bad instead of saying less, or very little, good, or even no good. An added fact to this is that a criminal or insane individual will not deem his actions as bad. In some cases he will even feel he is doing good. That again shows us that it's just a definition, or better a perception. There just is, and it's your personal integrity and honor that measures an action, to then place it on a virtual scale of affinity, your affinity towards something or someone. This would then apply to anything really when we start thinking about it, tall and short, loud and quiet, etc. It just is. And it's simply your view on it that gives it a definition, but regardless of the definition given, at its origin, it's just more or less of. As a note, in the original article you will find a link to a site that has a lot of good examples on opposites do not exist. Time. Well, this is a rather similar topic, to be honest. Here is the principle of time. Time is basically a conclusion or decision that space and particles will persist. The rate of their persistence is what we measure with clocks and the motion of our movement. Time is actually a consideration, but there is the experience of time. There is a distance, there is a velocity of particle travel, and the movement of that particle in relationship to its starting point and in relationship to its ending point, itself, is the consideration of time. On that, have you ever noticed how it is, the happier you are, the less time seems relevant? And how, when you're sad, or are waiting, or even scared, how time seems to just be there, with its full long seconds and minutes. Time also seems to be different from individual to individual. Take the example of the phrase "just a minute." Did you ever feel like it was too fast or too long when someone said that to you? Same could work for waking up in the morning. Some take hours on measured time to wake up and some minutes. All in all, time really seems to be a personal consideration, and the happier we are, the less we are bound to this consideration. So the experience of time changes too. We consider the to be, the past, the now, and the future. However, as you are reading this, you may feel in the now, but we wrote this in the past. Also, per that definition, what you have just read is already in the past for you too now, and what you have not read is in the future. If by chance you now decide to go to the top of the page, the past, you are pulling it into the now. Same works for the future. In other words, it's all in the now, you may just not be looking at it. A fortune teller or a person who can see or read someone's past or future, will probably tell you something similar, such as, "I just see it." They see the individual being, or spirit, and the spirit is not time-bound, so it carries the past, the now, and the future all at once. It's all just now, and these people can see it as that, now. The experience of time is what we make of it, and the more we live in the now, the more we can benefit from this magical illusion. Here are some excellent quotes on these topics. The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. By Albert Einstein. Time equals life, therefore, waste your time and waste your life, or master your time and master your life. By Alan Lacan. There is an old illusion, it is called good and evil. By Friedrich Nietzsche. Time is but the stream I go a-fishing in. By Henry David Thoreau. Pleasure and action make the hours seem short. By William Shakespeare. Othello, Act 2, SC 3. This world is deluded, you yourself have deluded it. Forgetting the one, it has become engrossed in duality. By Sri Guru Granth Sahib. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. By Albert Einstein. When one realizes oneself, one realizes the essential nature of the universe. The existence of duality is only an illusion, and when the illusion is undone, the primordial unity of one's own nature and the nature of the universe is realized, or made real. By Namkhai Norbu. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute, and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute. That's relativity. By Albert Einstein. Heart knows neither duality nor the limitations of space and time. By Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Thank you for listening. Be love. Yours, wakeupmessage.com